Gladstone Capital Corporation, GLAD. I have tried to do this video like 4 times already. Nothing seems to be perfect on this particular video. GLAD, 8.01% dividend, $9.96, less than $10 at the close on yesterday. Gladstone, this particular corporation is a business development corporation, and they do deal in first and secondary paper with corporations. They directly help corporations get up and running. It's a good stock. I own it. 8.01% dividend yield. It pays 6.5 cents per share. The date is around the 15th, like the 16th, 17th, something like that. 15, 16, 17, 12, something like that. And the payday is 2 weeks later. Roughly, it's either 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, somewhere in there. So you have a 2-week layover between the day that it is cut off, the X date and the pay date, which is a lot better than some of the ones that give you perhaps a little more in dividend percentage-wise. But it takes a full month. So if you're very careful with parlaying the dividends from this stock, you can buy the dividends from this stock and help purchase another stock. If you can find another one that has a different 2-week window, and get the payday to be before the next cutoff date, then you can really be good in parlaying your dividends, compounding them. So instead of like 9%, you might get something between 11 and 12%, depending on the amount of the other dividend stock would go maybe 1 or 2% more. If you know how to parlay properly. It's a little bit of a difficult situation that you have to look at. You have to find out exactly which ones pay at which days, and then you take the dividend of the one, in this GLAD, and pay the other, which could be a number of stocks. As long as there's another 2-week window or less, then you can put dividend upon dividend, and it'll really increase your yield. So, that being said, Gladstone, GLAD Stone Corporation is, as I said, a business development corporation. They're around 8% yield, and it was less than $10 per share on Friday before it closed. So, you have REITs, which are real estate investment trusts. You have business development corporations like Gladstone. And then you have food companies like BG Foods. Now, in my estimation, GLAD is going to be around for a while. In my estimation, BG Foods is going to be around for a while. And REITs are going to be around for a while. But you have to be careful about the REIT. The ones that I had covered before was AGNC. That's a good REIT for me. I've been following that for several years. BG Foods, I've been following that for several years. Gladstone has only been around for me for about a year. A year or less, somewhere in there. I've been following that particular stock. It's an okay stock. As I said, it's a monthly payer. There's only 2 weeks between the cutoff date, the X date, and the day you get paid, which is about 2 weeks. It's not 21 days. It could be 15 days, 17 days, something like that. As I said, the plan is to find another one that has a 2-week window. It doesn't have to be a 2-week window, but that's the way that you can maximize your gain. Anything that pays right before a dividend date, an X date, then you buy the next one with the X date with the dividend that you just got. You do that consistently and persistently, and you'll increase your yield over the course of a year. Especially on the monthly stocks. The quarterly stocks are a little bit more tricky because you have to wait until a few days before the X date, and then they'll pay you, and then you have to have a 3-month layover. So the dividend stocks that you invest, the money that you invest from, say, Gladstone. If you buy a quarterly stock, it has to be very close to the date of the payday of that stock after you get your money from Gladstone. You can look for another stock that's going to go ex-dividend date shortly. Hopefully that layover is not 30 days, but if it is, so what? So you take the money and you invest it in the one that has a X date. The one that you can get the fastest money back. It's like if you have a dividend, if you have all things being equal, say you have two stocks that you can purchase, and one pays in about 30 days, and one pays in about 2 weeks. Okay? And the yield is identical. You will increase your yield somewhat if you purchase a stock that has only 2 weeks between the X date and the pay date. But if not, if it's a month, then you have to take money from other stocks that are paying you and purchase another stock. But like I said, after you get the dividend from the 3 month, the quarterly, which will be a little bit higher because they they parlay the dividend every 3 months. You know, it's a quarterly, 4 times a year. Every third month, you're going to get a dividend from that stock. You'll have to wait 3 months. After you get the payday from that one, there's another 3 month hold time. So you have to really look at all the quarterlies. You can get a quarterly that pays in January. You can get a quarterly that pays in February. You can get a quarterly that pays in March. And the dividend will be used by you to purchase another stock that has that's going X date. But after that, you have a 3 month wait. So you want to try to get the X date right before the X date to purchase more stock in a quarterly. The same with a monthly. But if the monthly stock has 2 week layover, that's the best as far as parlaying your dividends. If you find 2 or 3 of those stocks that you can interchangeably, like stock A and stock B, then you could take stock A if the X date is like the 3rd, and then you get paid on the 15th, and then you have another one that's an X date is on the 17th and it pays on the 29th. Then you can use those 2 particular stocks to compound your dividend. The dividend compounding I'm talking about is stock A pays you on the 15th, and then the 17th is the cutoff date, and then the cutoff date might be the 31st, and then the next cutoff date, which is the X date, would be the 3rd again, or 4th. If you get 2 stocks like that, you can compound your dividends at a little bit faster rate. You might get an extra 1 or 2% on your money, which would be actually excellent because you're not doing anything else. But it doesn't matter whether it's a BCD, Business Development Corporation, that's paying you today, and you're investing in, say, BG Foods or another month, or AGNC or another monthly stock. It doesn't matter. BG Foods is quarterly. But if you parlay your money, and if BG Foods, if the X date on BG Foods was the 1st or 3rd, I don't know what BG Foods is, and then it pays on the 29th or 30th, if it's within a month or less, then you can parlay the dividend of that and purchase other monthlies. It would be best, I would do that. It would be best for you to have a whiteboard or some way that you could put all your stocks on a board with all the X dates and all the dividend dates, all the X dates and the days they pay, and you can then look at which ones you are trying to increase on. But this particular one is a BCD, GLADD, 8% dividend yield. And then it, as I said, the 8% yield, and it was like $9.96. You also want to check things like beta. And I'll get into that in another video. Betas of less than or equal to negative or positive 1, in my estimation, is better. There are some that have high dividends, and until you learn how to short, until you learn how to, short is one thing. Another thing would be day traders. If it's got a high beta, you might make more money instead of waiting for the dividend to pay, buying and selling as a day trader. But I don't suggest that. I like the long position. But some people can make more money the other way. And some people short a stock. But GameStop caused a lot of billionaires to lose billions of dollars in their hedge funds because some people on Reddit decided that they were all going to gang up and buy the stuff that they shorted, which forced the stock price up, made millions for the people who were doing it, and cost billions for the hedge funds. Go figure. The best thing is, in my estimation, what I'm doing for the most part is focusing on the long, being long. Short term, you might have to sell stock. Other than that, you don't have to sell stock. Okay, I'm going to close this video. I'm going to close up on this particular video. Peace out for those people in the Who on Earth videos. Live long and prosper. Have a jolly good day. And God bless America.